The woman who defined the disco generation, Donna Summer, queen of the music, died today at the age of 63.
Well, I think if you deny yourself, your real self, and what you've been raised with, it's very difficult.
How does a preacher's daughter become the queen of disco while battling demons that nearly destroyed her? She sang a song so scandalous it was banned worldwide. Then, a moment so dark came, it nearly ended her life. But here's the twist. Every setback became the spark for her next triumph. Once you hear what she went through to become a legend, you'll never see her the same way again. So let's get started. LaDonna Adrienne Gaines was born on December 31st, 1948, in the Mission Hill neighborhood of Boston, Massachusetts. She was the third of 7 children in a hard-working family. Her father, Andrew Gaines, worked as a butcher, while her mother, Mary Gaines, was a schoolteacher. Their income was steady but modest, and the family lived in a 3-bedroom apartment where the children often shared rooms. This close-knit environment laid the foundation for LaDonna's collaborative spirit. The Gaines household valued discipline, education, and faith. Church attendance was mandatory, and music was a big part of family life, with regular gatherings that deeply influenced LaDonna's love for singing. At just 10 years old, LaDonna had her first taste of the spotlight. One Sunday at church, the regular singer didn't show up, and she was asked to step in. Nervously, she performed "I Am Changed," and her voice left the congregation in awe. People were moved to tears, and from that day on, she became a regular soloist in the choir. By the time she was 12, she was being paid $5 per performance, a rare opportunity for someone her age. Her powerful voice earned her the nickname the Little Mahalia, after Mahalia Jackson, a gospel legend she admired. In high school, LaDonna's talents expanded beyond the church. At Jeremiah E. Burke High School, she participated in musicals like The King and I and West Side Story, where she became a standout performer. These experiences fueled her dream of a career in music and theater. In 1967, just before graduating, LaDonna made a bold decision to leave Boston and head to New York City to follow her dreams. Her parents weren't thrilled about the idea, but reluctantly supported her. In New York, she joined a blues rock band called Crow. The band's journey didn't last long, as a record label showed interest only in LaDonna as a solo artist. Though the band broke up, it was a stepping stone that helped her grow as a performer. A year later, in 1968, LaDonna's life took another unexpected turn. She was cast in the Munich production of Hair, a major opportunity that required her to move to Germany with just $40 in her pocket. Adjusting to a new country and language wasn't easy, but within 3 years, she became fluent in German and took on roles in musicals like Godspell and Showboat. In 1974, Donna Summer's life changed unexpectedly during a recording session for Three Dog Night. Giorgio Moroder, a producer looking for singers without German accents, heard her distinctive voice and was immediately drawn to it. Pete Bellotte, his collaborator, was also impressed. Moroder promised to reach out if the right project came along. This meeting at Munich's Musicland studios led to a groundbreaking partnership. By the end of 1974, Summer signed a recording contract with Moroder and Bellotte, marking the beginning of a collaboration that would dominate the disco era. Over the next few years, they created 7 revolutionary albums together. The iconic song "Love to Love You Baby" started with a simple idea. In 1974, Summer brought Giorgio Moroder and Pete Bellotte a hook she had written, inspired by the sensual French song "Je t'aime." Moi non plus. The original recording was a short, 3-minute single that didn't gain much attention. But everything changed when Neil Bogart, head of Casablanca Records, heard it at one of his famous parties. Bogart loved the song so much that he called Marauder at 3 a.m., demanding a longer version for his parties. Summer was unsure about turning it into a 17-minute track. She asked Marauder, "How am I supposed to come up with lyrics for another 14 minutes?" The extended version was recorded in May and June 1975 at Musicland Studios. Marauder set the mood by dimming the lights and lighting candles. Summer lay on the floor in the darkened room, channeling her inner Marilyn Monroe to create a sultry, intimate performance. The session was kept so private that most of the studio staff were sent out. With minimal instrumentation, just keyboards, percussion, guitar, bass, and drums, Marauder layered Summer's vocals over a hypnotic bass line. This innovative production style created a sound that would influence electronic dance music for decades. For Summer, the recording process was like acting. She explained later that she approached the song as a role, embodying a persona inspired by Marilyn Monroe. "It wasn't me," she said. "It was a character." This allowed her to distance herself from the provocative nature of the song. When she heard the final recording, she barely recognized her voice, describing the track as a concept, not a song. It sold over 1 million copies and reached number 2 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. The 16-minute version took up the entire first side of Summer's album, helping to popularize the 12-inch single format for dance music. Casablanca Records struggled to keep up with demand, pressing 200,000 copies in the first week alone. While this creative decision brought her massive success, it also created a hypersexualized image that she struggled with for years. The song's release in 1975 caused a worldwide sensation and controversy. The BBC counted 23 simulated orgasms in the track and banned it immediately. Radio stations around the world followed suit, and even the Vatican condemned it. Summer's grandmother famously lamented, "I'm never going to be able to go to church again." Her daughter, Brooklyn Sudano, later shared that Donna was deeply aware of the stereotypes surrounding her and fought hard against being defined by them. However, the pressure to maintain her glamorous and provocative image took a toll. To cope with the intense demands of her career, Donna began relying on antidepressants and sleeping pills. Growing up in a strict religious household, Donna faced a profound conflict between her upbringing and her hypersexualized public image. Her father's strictness was evident when he once punished her for wearing red nail polish, calling it inappropriate. This clash only deepened as her career soared. Producers Pete Bellotte and Giorgio Moroder, the masterminds behind her hits, were seen as enemies by her family and weren't even introduced to her parents at parties. This provocative image also strained her personal life. It led to the end of her marriage to Helmuth Sommer and her involvement in an abusive relationship with artist Peter Mühldorfer. Her song, "Love to Love You Baby," caused riots during live performances in Italy, forcing her to stop singing it on stage. By 1976, the pressures of fame left Donna with severe stomach ulcers, making it difficult for her to eat. Reflecting on that period, she called it the most dismal days of her life, despite being at the peak of her career. That same year, Donna reached a breaking point. While staying in a New York hotel near Central Park, overwhelmed by exhaustion, a broken marriage, and disillusionment with the music industry, she attempted to take her own life. She later recounted standing at the window, ready to jump, when her foot became tangled in a curtain. At that precise moment, a housekeeper entered the room, interrupting her. Donna later reflected, "Another 10 seconds, and I would have been gone." This life-threatening moment occurred while she was also dealing with abuse from Mühldorfer, who had physically harmed her, leaving her with a black eye and broken ribs. In 1979, Donna experienced a spiritual awakening that changed her life. Returning to her childhood faith, she embraced Christianity and described herself as being gloriously born again. She began attending weekly Bible studies and chose to step away from some of her most famous songs, like Love to Love You Baby and Bad Girls, despite still being at the height of her career. Her next album, The Wanderer, reflected her renewed faith, aiming to be spiritually meaningful without being overtly gospel. However, this transformation was not without controversy. Donna allegedly made comments suggesting that AIDS was God's punishment, and reportedly said, "It was Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve," during a concert. She later denied these remarks, but the backlash from her gay fan base was intense. But Summer achieved something only the Beatles had done before, landing 3 double albums in a row at #1 on the Billboard charts. It started in 1978 with Live and More, featuring her first #1 hit, MacArthur Park. Then came Bad Girls in 1979, an album so good it went triple platinum, with hits like Hot Stuff and the title track making it a disco classic. She wrapped it up with On the Radio, Greatest Hits Volumes 1 and 2 later that same year, proving her dominance wasn't a fluke. What's even more amazing? Double albums were hard to sell, expensive and risky, but Donna made them look easy. Bad Girls alone sold over 4 million copies, becoming her biggest success. And through it all, she was a workhorse, recording and touring almost non-stop, sometimes working 18-hour days. Her energy seemed limitless. If that wasn't enough, Donna also became the first female artist to rack up 4 #1 singles in just 12 months. Think about it, 3 solo hits and 1 duet with Barbra Streisand, No More Tears. She was everywhere, topping not just singles charts, but albums too. Twice in the same year, she held the #1 spots on both charts. First with Live and More and MacArthur Park, and later with Bad Girls and Hot Stuff. By the end of her career, she had 6 American Music Awards, 11 gold albums, 4 #1 singles, and a long list of other awards. It's no wonder people called her the Queen of Disco. But Donna wasn't just about breaking records. She was about breaking boundaries. In 1977, she worked with Giorgio Moroder and Pete Bellotte to create I Feel Love, a song that sounded like it came from the future. No guitars, no drums, just hypnotic beats and a fully synthesized backing track. When Brian Eno heard it, he turned to David Bowie and said, "This is the future of music." He was right. The song inspired artists like Madonna, Beyoncé, and the Human League, laying the foundation for electronic dance music. Donna recorded her vocals in just 10 minutes, never imagining it would change music forever. But it did. Donna's influence wasn't just musical, it was cultural. She broke racial barriers, becoming one of the first black female artists to get heavy rotation on MTV. She also won Grammys across genres: pop, R&B, rock, and dance, proving she wasn't confined to one style. In 1979, she made history as the first woman to win a Grammy for Best Rock Vocal Performance with Hot Stuff. Years later, she was the first recipient of the Grammy for Best Dance Recording with Carry On. Her legacy is undeniable. Inducted into the Dance Music Hall of Fame and ranked among Billboard's greatest artists of all time, Donna Summer wasn't just a star, she was a revolution. But her personal life was not as good as her career. In 1972, while performing in Hair in Munich, Donna met Austrian actor Helmut Sommer. Their romance was intense and fast, leading to marriage and the birth of their daughter, Mimi. But the relationship didn't last long. they separated in 1976. From this brief marriage, Donna found something lasting, her iconic stage name. She anglicized Summer into Summer, a name she kept throughout her career. During this time, as her fame grew, Donna had to make a heartbreaking decision to leave Mimi with her grandparents so she could focus on her career. This decision weighed heavily on her, filling her with guilt for many years. Donna's second marriage brought stability and love into her life. On July 16, 1980, she married musician Bruce Sudano, a member of the group Brooklyn Dreams. Together, they had two daughters, Brooklyn, born on January 5, 1981, and Amanda, born on August 11, 1982. Unlike her first marriage, this one was solid and enduring, lasting until her death in 2012. Bruce wasn't just her husband. He became her creative partner, co-writing hits like Bad Girls. They also shared a deep faith, founding the Oasis Church in Los Angeles. For Donna, this relationship marked a turning point. After years of turmoil, including a previous abusive relationship that left her physically and emotionally scarred, she finally found peace and support. Balancing her family life and stardom was one of Donna's biggest challenges. An unlikely mentor, her neighbor Sophia Loren, helped her through it. Loren, whom Donna's children fondly called Auntie Sophia, offered guidance on how to juggle the demands of being a mother and a star. Despite her success, Donna faced deep personal struggles. She discovered that her eldest daughter, Mimi, had been abused by someone connected to their housekeeper, a revelation that brought back memories of Donna's own trauma. At age 15, she had been abused by a pastor, a painful experience that shaped her outlook on life and parenting. This discovery drove her to become fiercely protective of her children. Even while juggling a demanding career filled with recording sessions and tours, Donna made it her mission to shield her family from harm and ensure their safety. Less known but equally impressive was Summer's emergence as a visual artist. For more than 15 years, she devoted herself to painting, creating dramatic images that reflected the same energy as her music. Her artwork incorporated elements of European, naive, and expressionistic art, with color used as an emotional expression. She held several exhibitions per year, with works like Faces of Rio and Two Women with Guitarist garnering critical acclaim. Summer's paintings often incorporated themes from her own music, creating a unique intersection between her auditory and visual artistic expressions. Donna Summer, the Queen of Disco, passed away on May 17, 2012, at the age of 63, leaving the world stunned. She died at her home in Naples, Florida, from lung cancer, a diagnosis that surprised many because Donna was a non-smoker. Donna believed the illness might have been caused by inhaling toxic fumes and dust during the September 11th attacks. She had been in her apartment near Ground Zero when the tragedy unfolded, and the aftermath left a mark not just on her heart, but, possibly, on her health. Others, however, pointed to different factors, including her past smoking, years of secondhand smoke exposure in clubs where she performed, and a family history that may have predisposed her to the disease. Her funeral, held on May 23, 2012, was a private and heartfelt ceremony at Christ Presbyterian Church in Nashville. The exact details were kept quiet, with cameras strictly prohibited to allow her family and close friends to grieve without intrusion. According to reports, several hundred people came to pay their respects, a testament to the love and admiration Donna inspired throughout her life. After the service, she was laid to rest at Harpeth Hills Memory Gardens, a peaceful cemetery in Nashville. When Donna Summer passed away, the world didn't just lose a singer, it lost a legend who had defined an entire era. Tributes poured in from some of the biggest names in music, each capturing a piece of what made Donna so unforgettable. Gloria Gaynor, another disco icon, expressed her heartbreak, calling Donna a fine lady and human being. Liza Minnelli, in her trademark flair, said, "She was a queen, the queen of disco, and we will be dancing to her music forever." It was a sentiment echoed by so many who couldn't imagine a world without Donna's voice lighting up the dance floor. Dolly Parton, known for her warmth and charm, compared Donna to Whitney Houston, calling her one of the greatest voices ever. Dolly shared how much she loved Donna's records, but also how she loved Donna as a person. Likeable, fun, and unforgettable. Janet Jackson didn't hold back her admiration, writing that Donna changed the world of music with her beautiful voice and incredible talent. Barbra Streisand, who famously sang a duet with Donna, reflected on their collaboration and described her as amazingly talented. Quincy Jones, always poetic, said Donna's voice was the heartbeat and soundtrack of a generation. It was a testament to the universal impact of her music. Aretha Franklin, the Queen of Soul, summed it up perfectly. In the 1970s, she reigned over the disco era and kept the disco jumping. Who will forget Last Dance? A fine performer and a very nice person. Chaka Khan brought a personal touch, sharing a unique bond with Donna. They had been friends for over 30 years and even spoke German together, a connection few knew about. Gloria Estefan, posting a heartfelt photo of them together, called Donna's passing the end of an era. Mary J. Blige took to Twitter, writing with raw emotion, "R.I.P. Donna Summer. You were truly a game changer." And Lenny Kravitz, in his own soulful way, honored her as a pioneer who paved the way for so many of us and transcended boundaries of race and genre. Beyoncé, a queen of music in her own right, wrote a heartfelt note saying, "Donna Summer made music that moved me both emotionally and physically to get up and dance." You could always hear the deep passion in her voice. She was so much more than the queen of disco she became known for. She was an honest and gifted singer with flawless vocal talent. I've always been a huge fan and was honored to sample one of her songs. She touched many generations and will be sadly missed. My love goes out to her family during this difficult time. Love, B. David Foster, who knew Donna personally for decades, shared his devastation. "Donna changed the face of pop culture forever," he said. "Music would sound different today if she had never graced us with her talent. She was a super diva and a true superstar who never compromised on her career or her family. She did everything with class, dignity, and grace. She lived in rare air. She was the most spectacular, considerate, giving, and loving friend for 35 years. I'm at a total loss trying to process this tragic news." Even the President of the United States at the time, Barack Obama, joined in honoring her legacy. "Michelle and I were saddened to hear about the passing of Donna Summer," he said. "Her voice was unforgettable, and the music industry has lost a legend far too soon. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Donna's family and her dedicated fans." It was a powerful acknowledgement from the highest office in the land, reflecting how far Donna's music had reached. At the 2012 Billboard Music Awards, Natasha Bedingfield paid her respects with a moving performance of Donna's iconic song, "Last Dance." Calling her a remarkable woman who brought so much light, Natasha highlighted how Donna inspired countless women with her music. As she sang, photos of Donna lit up the screen above, turning the moment into a heartfelt celebration of her life and legacy. It wasn't just a tribute, it was a reminder that Donna's music will never fade away. Fans also expressed their love in touching ways, leaving flowers and memorabilia on her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The impact of her passing was reflected in her album sales, which skyrocketed by an incredible 3,277% in the days following her death. Just a week before, she had sold around 1,000 albums, but that number leaped to 26,000 as people reconnected with her timeless hits.